Al Capone, a name that conjures images of Prohibition-era gangsters, speakeasies, and ruthless power struggles in Chicago's dark underbelly. Known as Scarface, Capone built an empire on bootlegging, gambling, and a network of loyal followers who would do anything to stay on his good side. But there's so much more to Capone's life and legacy than what meets the eye. Today, we'll dive into some of the most jaw-dropping, little-known facts surrounding this infamous mobster. From strange twists in his criminal empire to peculiar details that followed his conviction, these stories peel back layers of history to reveal the unbelievable details hidden behind Capone's hardened persona. Get ready to explore the unexpected truths about a man whose influence went beyond bullets and bravado. Capone's secret speakeasies. During the Prohibition era, Al Capone's grip on Chicago was as much about ingenuity as it was about brute force. At the height of his power, Capone orchestrated an elaborate network of speakeasies, hidden breweries, and underground tunnels that became the backbone of his bootlegging empire. These secret passageways, often built beneath bustling neighborhoods, allowed his operatives to transport alcohol undetected by authorities. Hidden entrances disguised as innocuous storefronts or backrooms in thriving establishments added an air of mystery to Capone's operations. These tunnels not only kept his illegal enterprise running smoothly, but also underscored the sophistication and audacity with which he evaded law enforcement. The discovery of these hidden networks years later painted a vivid picture of Capone's empire and his ability to outmaneuver authorities. The underground world of secret speakeasies became a symbol of the Prohibition era's rebellious spirit, capturing the imagination of generations to come. These covert operations highlight the lengths to which organized crime went to maintain their dominance and the challenges law enforcement faced in dismantling such well-conceived systems. Capone's secret speakeasies weren't just places to drink. They were hubs of defiance against a system attempting to curb the vices of a thirsty nation. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre remains one of the most infamous crimes in American history, a chilling event that exemplified the brutal underworld of Prohibition-era Chicago. On the morning of February 14, 1929, 7 members of George "Bugs" Moran's North Side gang were gunned down in a garage by individuals disguised as police officers. The scene was a calculated show of power, meant to cripple Moran's gang and solidify control over Chicago's lucrative bootlegging trade. While Al Capone was never formally implicated, the sheer precision of the attack and its alignment with Capone's interests left little doubt in the public's mind about his involvement. The massacre not only eliminated significant competition, but also painted a stark picture of organized crime's reach and ruthlessness, shocking the nation and intensifying calls for law enforcement reform. The massacre also demonstrated the unchecked violence of gangland rivalries, with its infamy extending far beyond Chicago. It served as a turning point in public perception, transforming Capone from a criminal folk hero into a symbol of the era's unchecked criminality. The dramatic crime scene photos and the boldness of the operation lingered in the public psyche, underscoring the high stakes of Prohibition-era turf wars. Though Capone's involvement was never proven, the massacre reinforced his reputation as a man who stopped at nothing to maintain his empire. The ironclad alibi. Al Capone's ability to evade justice was as legendary as his crimes, and nowhere was this more evident than during the fallout from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. On the morning of the attack, Capone was conspicuously in Florida, surrounded by respected associates and witnesses who could vouch for his presence. This carefully orchestrated alibi exemplified Capone's strategic brilliance, as it effectively insulated him from direct accusation. Despite being the prime suspect in the massacre, law enforcement found themselves stymied by the lack of concrete evidence tying him to the scene. Capone's alibi wasn't merely a defensive tactic. It was a declaration of his untouchable status in the criminal underworld. This ironclad alibi highlighted the broader challenges law enforcement faced when pursuing Capone. His ability to manipulate circumstances and maintain an air of plausible deniability frustrated investigators and underscored the sophistication of his operations. The massacre may have solidified Capone's grip on Chicago's underworld, but it also catalyzed the federal government's intensified efforts to bring him down. Capone's cunning use of alibis became part of his legend, cementing his image as a criminal mastermind who was always one step ahead of his pursuers. The Untouchables' unyielding pursuit. In the heart of the Roaring '20s, Chicago was a city gripped by crime and corruption, with Al Capone reigning as its unofficial king. Amid this backdrop, a small, elite team of law enforcement officers rose to prominence. the Untouchables. Led by the fearless Eliot Ness, they operated with an unshakable integrity that earned them their moniker. Ness and his team were relentless in their quest to dismantle Capone's empire, employing innovative methods that were ahead of their time. From tracking financial transactions to raiding breweries, their meticulous approach eventually unearthed the tax evasion evidence that would bring Capone to justice. Their efforts not only toppled a criminal empire, but also restored a sense of hope and justice to a city in despair, cementing their legacy as heroes in the annals of law enforcement. The legend of the Untouchables extends far beyond their immediate achievements, becoming a cultural phenomenon celebrated in films, books, and television. Their story is a testament to the power of perseverance and moral fortitude in the face of overwhelming odds. At a time when corruption ran rampant, Ness's refusal to bow to pressure and his team's dogged pursuit of justice became a rallying cry for those yearning for accountability. The Untouchables showed the world that even the most untouchable figures could be brought to justice with enough determination and integrity. The luxurious Alcatraz life. Alcatraz, the isolated fortress in San Francisco Bay, was designed to strip inmates of power and privilege, but even within its forbidding walls, Al Capone's influence was palpable. Convicted of tax evasion in 1931, Capone was transferred to Alcatraz to prevent him from continuing to manipulate the prison system. Despite the harsh conditions intended to break even the most hardened criminals, Capone managed to carve out a semblance of comfort. His wealth and notoriety afforded him privileges, including access to a banjo and the ability to lead a personal band in the prison's music room. For a man accustomed to luxury, this semblance of normalcy was a testament to his enduring clout and adaptability. Capone's time in Alcatraz is a fascinating juxtaposition of privilege and decline. While he could secure small comforts, the island prison also marked the beginning of his downfall. Cut off from his empire, Capone's health began to deteriorate due to untreated syphilis, leading to his eventual loss of influence. His Alcatraz experience underscores the paradox of his life. Even in captivity, Capone remained a larger-than-life figure, yet the isolation and unyielding structure of Alcatraz symbolized the ultimate containment of his power, the syphilis secret. Behind Al Capone's infamous swagger lay a tragic and little-discussed truth. His life was slowly being consumed by untreated syphilis. Contracted in his youth, the disease went unchecked for decades, wreaking havoc on his physical and mental health. By the time Capone entered Alcatraz, symptoms of neurosyphilis had begun to emerge, manifesting in erratic behavior and lapses in judgment. Though still feared by many, his decline became increasingly evident to those around him. By 1939, when he was released from prison on humanitarian grounds, Capone's once dominant persona had diminished. With the mental capacity of a child, he retreated to his Florida estate, a shadow of the criminal mastermind who once ruled Chicago. Capone's battle with syphilis adds a poignant layer to his story, serving as a reminder of the vulnerabilities that even the most powerful individuals cannot escape. His illness not only contributed to his downfall, but also highlighted the stark contrast between his rise to power and his eventual decline. The once untouchable kingpin, whose name inspired fear and fascination, spent his final years in obscurity, his legacy overshadowed by the ravages of a disease he could not control. Capone's vaults hoax. Long after Al Capone's reign ended, the allure of his legend persisted, captivating a new generation with tales of hidden riches. In 1986, Geraldo Rivera, a charismatic TV host known for his investigative style, seized upon this fascination to stage a live broadcast event like no other. Rivera and his team had uncovered a sealed underground vault at Chicago's Lexington Hotel, rumored to contain Capone's long-lost fortune. The premise was tantalizing. A treasure trove of cash, jewels, or other relics of the Prohibition era could be waiting to be unearthed. With millions of viewers tuning in, the live event promised high drama and potentially historic discovery. As the cameras rolled and the vault was painstakingly opened, the atmosphere was electric, fueled by speculation and anticipation. Yet, as the dust cleared, the vault revealed itself to be entirely empty. There was no treasure, no hidden wealth, only debris and a resounding sense of anticlimax. The event, initially billed as a groundbreaking revelation, became one of the most infamous media flops in history. While the broadcast failed to uncover riches, it succeeded in reigniting public curiosity about Capone's life and the enduring mystique of his criminal empire. Rivera's dramatic disappointment only added to the lure, ensuring the Vaults hoax a place in the annals of pop culture as a testament to the enduring power of Capone's mythos. The Al Capone case remains one of the most intriguing crime stories in American history. Each twist and turn, from his larger-than-life public persona to the shocking details that emerged after his trial, shows just how complex and calculated he truly was. Capone's downfall wasn't marked by a gangster showdown, but by a surprising courtroom victory that reshaped his empire and eventually his life. Though his legacy may be tainted by crime, Capone's story also highlights the ingenuity of law enforcement during a turbulent era. We hope these fascinating facts have painted a fuller picture of the man behind the mob, one whose story continues to captivate us almost a century later.